You're walking through the streets of Hiroshima on the morning of August 6th, 1945. The sun is bright, too bright for a day like this. You can smell the rice cooking in your neighbor's kitchen. It's just another ordinary day. You've got errands to run. You need to pick up some supplies for the family. You step outside, and the air feels heavy, almost electric. There's a strange stillness, a silence that doesn't sit right. You shrug it off. Maybe people are just tired. The war has been dragging on for years now. Everyone's a little worn. You pass by a group of children playing in the street, their laughter echoing against the walls of the buildings. They don't know the weight of the world yet, and part of you wishes you could forget too. You walk past the shop where the old man sells vegetables. Today, he seems unusually distracted. His eyes are glued to the sky. You look up, but it's just an ordinary morning. You can see the clouds gathering, but nothing seems out of place. The old man mumbles something about planes, but you don't pay much attention. Planes are common now. You continue down the street, and the chatter of your neighbors fills your ears. You wave at Mrs. Tanaka, who's hanging laundry outside. She smiles, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. You wonder if she's worried about the rationing. Everyone is worried about something these days. You reach the market, and the vendor greets you with a nod. You can see the worry etched on his face. The prices are rising, and supplies are dwindling. You grab a few things, but you don't have much money left. You tuck the vegetables under your arm and head back home. As you walk, you notice a plane flying overhead. It's low, too low. You squint up at it, but it's just a speck in the blue sky. You shrug it off. It's probably just a reconnaissance flight. You've seen plenty of those before. You're almost home when you hear a sound. It's like a roar, but sharper, more intense. It rattles your bones. You stop. The world seems to hold its breath. The ground shakes beneath your feet, and you stumble forward. You barely have time to react before a blinding light engulfs everything around you. You're thrown to the ground. The air is filled with a deafening explosion. It feels like the end of the world. Dust and debris rain down. You try to shield your face, but it's no use. Your ears are ringing, and your heart is pounding. You don't know what's happening. When you finally manage to open your eyes, everything has changed. The once bustling street is now a hellscape. Buildings are crumbled, their walls blackened and charred. The air is thick with smoke, and it stings your eyes. You push yourself up, shaking off the shock. You can't think straight. You look around in disbelief. The laughter of children is gone. Instead, there are screams. You can hear them echoing in the distance. Your heart races as you realize you need to find your family. You stumble through the wreckage. The ground is hot beneath your feet. You reach a familiar street corner, but it's unrecognizable. You see a figure in the distance. It's a woman, her clothes torn and bloodied. You squint, hoping to see a face you know, but it's just a stranger, lost and wandering like you. You keep moving, shouting for your family. You see a neighbor, Mr. Saito, trying to pull a beam off someone trapped beneath. You want to help, but you can't. You're frozen in place, watching the chaos unfold. Finally, you make it to your home, or what's left of it. The roof is gone, and the walls have collapsed. Your heart sinks as you call out for your parents, for your siblings. There's no answer, just the sound of crackling flames and the distant cries of the wounded. You push through the debris, searching desperately. You feel a sickening pit in your stomach. You step over broken glass and twisted metal. You find a shoe, a small one, your sister's. You try to breathe, but the air is thick with smoke. You don't know how long you search. It feels like hours. You can't find anyone. The streets are filled with people, but they're all strangers now. You see the old man from the vegetable shop. He's on the ground, his body twisted. You want to cry, but the tears won't come. You hear sirens in the distance. They're faint, but they're there. Hope flickers in your chest. Maybe help is on the way. You grab a piece of wood to steady yourself and move toward the sound. As you walk, you notice the injuries people have sustained. Skin hanging off limbs, burns that seep into the air. It feels surreal, like a nightmare you can't wake up from. A woman staggers past you, her clothes burned away, her hair a mess of ash. She looks at you, her eyes pleading. You want to help, but you don't know how. Finally, you reach a makeshift triage area. There are bodies everywhere. Some are covered, but many are not. You see a doctor, his hands shaking as he tries to treat the wounded. You approach him, desperate for news about your family. He looks at you, and you see the exhaustion in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he says, his voice breaking. "We're doing all we can." You nod, feeling a wave of despair wash over you. You want to scream, to shout that it's not enough. You sit on the ground, leaning against a wall. The sun is setting, and the world feels like it's closing in. The fire still burns in the distance, lighting up the sky in an eerie glow. You think about your family. You wonder if they're alive, if they're hurt. You think about the laughter of children, the smell of rice cooking. It all feels like a lifetime ago. As night falls, you find yourself surrounded by strangers, all of you connected by this shared horror. You sit together in silence, the only sound the crackling of flames. You can't sleep. You've lost count of the hours. You're too afraid to close your eyes. Morning comes, but it's not the same. The air is heavy with ash and sorrow. You notice the faces of those around you. They look hollow, like ghosts. You stand up, feeling the weight of the world pressing down on you. You wander the streets again, searching for any sign of life. There are soldiers now, moving through the rubble. They look just as lost as you feel. You see a child, no older than 5, sitting on a pile of debris. He's alone, his eyes wide and vacant. You want to comfort him, but you don't know how. You continue your search, moving through the devastation. You hear whispers of survivors. Someone says they saw a family near the river, but when you get there, it's just more despair. Bodies float in the water, their faces unrecognizable. You find a group of people huddled together, sharing what little food they have left. They look at you with a mix of pity and fear. You sit with them, but the food doesn't taste right. You force it down, but it feels like sand in your mouth. Days pass, and every morning feels the same. You search for your family, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You hear stories about the bomb, about the destruction, but it feels like a distant nightmare. You see survivors banding together. They're sharing stories, trying to remember the lives they had before. You want to join them, but you feel like you don't belong. You're not sure you'll ever belong again. You hear someone mention a shelter. It's a place where people are gathering, sharing resources. You decide to go. Maybe there's hope there. Maybe someone has seen your family. When you arrive, it's crowded. People are everywhere, and the air is thick with tension. You scan the faces, looking for someone familiar. You see a woman cradling a baby, but it's not your sister. You feel your heart sink again. You sit on the floor, feeling small and insignificant. You listen to the stories being shared, tales of loss, of survival, of hope. It's overwhelming. You want to scream that you need to find your family, that nothing else matters. As the sun sets, you look out the open door. The sky is painted with hues of red and orange. It's beautiful and haunting all at once. You remember your mother's smile, her laugh. You wonder if she's safe. You close your eyes for a moment, and when you open them again, the room is emptying. People are leaving to search for loved ones, to find solace in the familiar. You hesitate, feeling a pull to join them, but fear holds you in place. Finally, you push yourself to stand. You take a deep breath and step outside. The air feels heavy, but you know you have to keep moving. You have to find them. You wander through the streets again, the destruction still haunting you. You see familiar landmarks, but they're twisted and broken. You search every face, hoping to find someone you recognize. Days turn into weeks. You keep searching, but you never find your family. You hear whispers of survivors being found, but you never see their faces. You're starting to feel like a ghost yourself, wandering through a city that no longer feels like home. You find a group of people gathered around a fire. They're sharing stories, and for the first time, you sit down with them. You listen as they talk about their lives before the bomb. You share your own story, your own loss. It feels good to connect, even if just for a moment. As the sun begins to rise, you feel a flicker of hope. Maybe you'll find them. Maybe there's still a chance. You hold on to that thought as you rise to your feet, ready to face another day in this broken city. You step out into the light, and for the first time since that fateful morning, you feel a sense of determination. You won't give up. You'll keep searching, keep fighting for the memory of your family. Because even in the face of darkness, there's still a glimmer of hope.